Hi friends, colleagues, top producers and people that are striving for excellence in 2017, 2018. I am here to share a message I woke up with this morning about certainty and belief, and why the certainty and belief that we either have or we don't have in our life makes a big difference, and it either stops us from being successful or it actually propels us forward to our success. So many of you probably know, or you can guess who this person is. I'm going to mention somebody who came from Toronto, Canada quite a few years ago, and he wanted to be a star, just like you guys want to be a star. You want to be a star at your company. You want to be a star in the world. You want to be the #1 producer. You want to make the amount of money you want to make. You want to be super successful. You want to have the life of your dreams, right? So he came to America pursuing becoming a star. Instead of in business, he was pursuing being a star in film. And when he arrived, he started to go to auditions. He came from Toronto, Canada, went to auditions. He got rejected again and again and again, and got beat up. They would constantly tell him, you're kind of, I don't know, maybe you're just a little too skinny for this industry. Maybe you're a little too white. You're a little too tall. Are you trying comedy? You're not even funny. Maybe you're just not even funny enough. You're not even good looking enough. So they kept telling him all this stuff, and as you know, there's a lot of people that want to make it in Hollywood, and it's very tough to make it because it's very competitive. So he got beat up on a daily basis. And I remember he was talking about, on the Oprah show, he was talking about how he had this beat up car and he would drive up to the top of Mulholland, and some days he would be just crying and weeping and weeping and crying because he came here to pursue his dream and he couldn't achieve his dream. And he would look up in the sky at night, weeping, weeks after weeks out of being rejected. And he would see the stars, and he would look up at the stars, and he would gaze at the star. And until he started to believe that he was a star again, until he was able to believe he was a star again, he would stay up at the top of that mountain. And then he would believe, as he saw the star, he saw himself as a star. He would go back down Mulholland Drive and go right back to the auditions and get the same story, the same rejection. You're too skinny, you're too white, you're too tall, you're not funny, you're not good looking, give it up. By the way, are you trying comedy? Because you're not even funny. So he's just, again, he would get to the top of Mulholland Drive and weep and weep and weep and believe in himself as a star, and then go back down and get beat up. I don't know if you've had this in your industry where you have to sell a product or sell a service, or you have to get people to say yes to you, or you have to believe that you're going to make it in whatever your business is. And then one day he decided, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not even being paid $1,000 a day for acting services. I'm going to write a check. And he wrote a check to himself for $10 million for acting services rendered. 10 million bucks. He's talking about this on the Oprah show. And he post-dated that check about 4 years out into the future. And this really reminds me of certainty and belief. And I know that you probably have got coached or received coaching. Maybe you've been to one of our seminars, or you've been to a Tony Robbins seminar, or some other coach. A lot of us have heard this thing called belief. We even hear about it in the Bible. Jesus, talks about you must believe. If you believe you're going to be healed, then you're going to receive it, right? So belief is so critically important. But, I want to share something that is pretty profound today, and I want to give us a tool on how we can become a star, how we can become #1 in our office, in our in our life, in our goals, in our dreams, in our desires. And I'm going to just break down something that I saw on YouTube recently, just a simple model, and it starts with and I'm hoping you can see this is my purple pen, by the way. Purple is the color of abundance. All right, I'm hoping you can see this. I'm going to kind of put 4 little grids together. So first one we've got is potential. Potential. Would you agree that we all have an infinite potential? Right? We were born, we came to this world to be great. We have infinite potential. Now, would you agree that most people in their lifetime don't actualize their potential? They never actually get to their potential. Would you agree with that statement? And most people don't even believe in their potential. And some, I would say, don't believe in the potential of the opportunity in front of them either, right? And if you do believe in yourself and the potential of yourself and the potential of the opportunity, whether you're in real estate, whether you're in financial services, whether you're in multi-level marketing or whatever, if you believe in that... What's going on? Yes? Okay, we're back. All right, we are back. Elvis is back in the building, yo. So action, right? So we take action. Depending on what we believe is our potential, what we believe is the potential of the opportunity, we take action. And for most people, they don't take massive action, as we know, right? Now, they don't take massive action, and as a result, they get results that are mediocre or poor or great but not outstanding. So we get the results. Now, when we get the results that we got from the action that we took that was mediocre or low, this actually reinforces our belief, right? Our belief. When you get mediocre results, you probably say to yourself, I knew it wasn't going to work. I mean, I could have told you it wasn't going to work. So it reinforces the belief that it's not going to work, or that you're not good at it, or that you'll never become wealthy, or you'll never become successful or rich or whatever. And then because the belief is now diminished, because the results were low and the results become a convincer that it's not working, then you tap into even less potential, you take even less action, you get even less results, and then it lowers your belief even more. And then what this becomes, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of frustration, anger, and a lack of productivity, a lack of results, right? This becomes like a vicious circle. It's like it feeds itself. So let me share with you, what if something could come along right now, right now, that could start you with a new clean slate. A new clean slate where you actually have certainty and belief in your potential, in the potential of you, in the potential of the opportunity that's right in front of you. Whatever that is, okay? If it's in real estate, if it's in financial services, if it's in network marketing, or whatever industry you're in. What if something could come along that would instill in you, or you could choose to instill in yourself, and I'll share with you some tips on that, absolute certainty, absolute belief in yourself and in the opportunity. So you could tap into much more of your potential, or a heck of a lot of your potential, or your full potential. Would you take massive action? Let me ask you a question. If you knew for a fact that within 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year, you would be making, let's say, millions of dollars doing, if you knew for a fact, God or your higher power came and told you, and you had an epiphany, and you knew for a fact, like just like you see the sun above my head or the clouds above my head with absolute certainty, you knew for a fact that you would make $1 million or 5 million or 100,000 or whatever that number is that your goal is, and you knew for a fact, would you take massive action? Would you get away from your procrastination? Would you take massive action? Most people would say yes, right? If you knew for a fact, if you had that 100% certainty in yourself that this is gonna work, what would you do? What would we all do? We'd take massive action. We'd get off the couch, we'd make the phone calls, we would do what it would take to get there. So this is the same prophecy, but now in the positive. Now that you have this sudden light bulb of certainty, sudden light bulb of confidence and belief, now you take massive action because you know it's going to work. Because you know it's going to work. And because you take massive action, what happens? You get either good results or great results or massive results, right? And because you get these great results, what happens to your belief? This reinforces your belief that, oh my gosh, I knew this was gonna work. I am a freaking star. I am a rock star. I knew this is gonna work. what that does, these results reinforces this belief, and this belief then now you tap into even more of, you know what, hey, what's possible for me now? Remember what with Oprah, I won't tell you who the guest is just yet because I want you to guess who was the guest on the Oprah show that was talking about it, very famous person. But as you remember, Oprah, you know, started out and she had her own show and she was able to leapfrog from one success level to another success level, and she just continued to grow her brand to even bigger. So once you start to see results and you tap into even more of your belief, even more of your potential, now you take even bigger action on an even global level, and then you get even greater results because you took bigger action on a global level, which fuels the belief, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of positivity. Boom. So do you know what my breakthrough is? Do you know what your breakthrough is? Do you know what all of our breakthroughs are? Our breakthrough is this: how can you, we, all of us be absolutely certain in our minds about the results we will get in advance, even though the world is not giving us the certainty? How can we be certain about our results in advance, in our own mind, without the world giving us that certainty? Because the world didn't give him that certainty. The world told him, you're not going to be a star. They told him, you're too white, you're too skinny, you're too tall, you're too this, you're too that. And he had to make a declaration to himself. He had to write a check to himself saying, you know what, I've got such blind certainty, I'm going to write a $10 million check to myself for acting services rendered. And he made that declaration. And he walked around with that check in his wallet. He walked around with that check in his wallet for 4 years. 4 years in his wallet, to a point where the check was so faded, but something happened with that certainty. So what if something could come along that could give us that certainty? And I know I'm talking to some top producers here too. I know that I'm talking to some top producers in real estate, financial services, and network marketing. So if we're already top producing, what can give you the absolute certainty that you can break the records? What gives you the absolute certainty that no matter how good you're doing, you can double it or triple it and take it up a notch? I had a gentleman right now who's one of the greatest in the world, and he said, you know what, I'm on cruise control. We are on cruise control. That ship is on cruise control. What if you could take that ship that's on cruise control, that's already doing great, and what if you could then make it, blow it up to a whole other level, right? So no matter where you are, I don't care if you're super successful, hitting mediocre results, or if you're struggling, we've got to take a look at this belief and this certainty. Yes? Now, I'm going to give you a tip on something you can do now. And then I'm going to invite you to do something even more deeper, goes a little more to the core with us. But I want to give you something right here, right now. You've got to visualize. Every single day when I get up, guys, I visualize where I will be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months from now with my goals, my dreams, and my desires. And I step into that future experience. I close my eyes, I go out to the future, I drop down into my body, I see what I see, I hear what I hear, I feel what I feel at the last step that tells me I've got it. So in other words, let's say you want to close $100,000 month or $1 million month. I see myself, that month on the computer, looking at the checking account and seeing this number that's 100,000, and I see it, I hear it, I feel it. I see my family, I hear my family, I hear people recognizing and commenting, and I have a full visceral experience. So visualization is huge, right? And that's what he had to do at the top of Mulholland Drive. He had to visualize, no matter what the world was saying to him, he had to visualize he was a star. Okay, so visualization is huge. Right, they've even done Harvard studies and other studies where they had basketball players who practice shooting free throws, right? Another group who sat in a chair not shooting free throws, just visualized practicing shooting free throws. And then they actually looked at the percentage between the two groups of the people that actually practice shooting free throws and those who are sitting in the chair visualizing practicing free throws, and there was a 1% difference in the shooting percentage ratio versus the people that didn't practice at all shooting and didn't practice visualizing shooting either. So you get it. It all happens in the mind. This is about a mindset. So where are you now? Where are you now? Where is someone that you love and care about now? Because I bet you know someone who does not believe. And guys, I've been there. I've been there where I lost belief in something. You know, this shit ain't working. I want to shoot myself in the freaking head right now. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. What does that do to you? What does that do? What that does is it removes all motivation, all hunger, all desire. It takes all the action. When you step into this place of belief in yourself, belief in the opportunity that you've chosen to follow, and you just believe, you're going to take bigger action. You're going to get bigger results. And then the results is going to convince you that your belief was right, and then you're going to tap into more potential and get even greater results. Make sense? So the tool is visualization. Now, before I let you go, I want to also invite you to our seminar. Why? Because we do a process, 2 or 3 processes. One is called neuro-linguistic programming, where we learn the software of the mind. You learn how your brain works. You learn how your brain processes information. I have people in my seminar who, you know, when I say to them, as you think of money, do you have a picture? And a picture comes up for them that represents money. And guess what? It's 100 miles away. It's dark. It's dim. It's flat. It's small, and it's like it's out of reach. I have other people in the seminar, and I say, as you think of money, do you have a picture? And it's bam, right front of their face, all around them, pouring out of their pores. There's a difference in the way the first person stores money at an unconscious level and the second person. The person that stores money at an unconscious level where it's far away, dim, dark, and gray, out of their reach, is likely not to be able to feel like they're going to have the certainty and belief to be able to get it. So we work with the pictures, we work with the sounds, we work with the feelings. And then there's another process which is outstanding that we do, which is called timeline therapy. Timeline therapy has a process where we literally go back and we remove self-doubt, lack of doubt, lack of belief, right? Because at some point in our life, we decided whether, and it's usually in the imprint stage, usually between 0 to 7 years old. Most people think, you know, I'm being beat up by the industry and what's going on in my life right now, and you know, the economy and this. They think the world is giving them this, and when we really dive deeper, you find out that this belief system has been around for 1,000 years. They grew up this way. They saw a mom or a dad or someone struggle and not get what they want. At an unconscious level, they made a decision that people just don't get what they want. Family doesn't get what they want. And they made an unconscious level decision that I don't get what I want. And that is a root. That's almost like a virus. That's almost like a lie. And we have a process in timeline therapy where we're able to literally get rid of that lie. We're able to remove and install a new belief such that you tap into your action greater, get better results, step into your belief, and that becomes the new circle. All right, so my question to you is, what if something could come along right now that could change all that? Yes? We've got to step into that new belief, yes? Okay, so we have an event coming up, July 29-30, and that's going to be at the Sheraton Hotel in Pasadena, and it's called Success NLP, Sales and Leadership Mastery. And at that event, we're going to do a whole bunch of things, including learning why we set goals and achieving why we set goals and why we don't achieve them, learning the 10 steps to getting the yes, learning how to speak into listening to our clients, all of that stuff, yes, but most importantly, how to upgrade our commitment, our desire, and our belief such that we become who we need to be. When you change, when I change, when we all change, we change the world too. We change the legacy of our family and of our kids. You have that much power. We all have that much power. All right? So July 29-30 is our event, and that's going to be Pasadena Sheraton Hotel. For information on that event, I want you to contact us. You can find me on Facebook, Kaya Redford, as you know. You can also find us on, you can call us direct on our toll-free number, 844-PURE-NLP, 844-PURE-NLP. That's 844-787-3657, 844-787-3657. And I think that's it. I love you, my friends. You've got to start with 100% certainty. And if you knew for a fact you had 100% certainty, you knew you would get the results, there would be no hesitation. You would go all in. And then when you go all in, you get the best results. I love you, my friends. See you soon.